Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of FTB Revelation. How are you guys doing today? How's life? I have a plan. I want to make a steel factory, but I don't want to mine all the iron by hand. I prefer to dupe the iron. How do we dupe iron? We use UU matter. So we are going to need an IC2 infrastructure in order to have mass fabricators and replicators. And in order to power them, we're going to need quantum solar panels, which is a pain to craft. This guy. And it has a complicated recipe, I can assure you. Of course, in order to have an IC2 infrastructure, we need to expand our base, because in our little hole over there, there's not enough space to add IC2 machines. So we need to make an external expansion. And if we want to make that expansion, we need to pay attention to two different things. One of them is teleportation, using the U of the Void and the teleporter from Ender.io, because I'm tired of seeing so many travel anchors when I wake up. Look. And the other one is a quantum ring, because it does not make sense to make very long cables over long distances. So it's easier just to use a quantum ring from Applied Energistics. By the way, I do understand that this is a very stupid way of doing everything, because we can stick a golem in a mob spawner and get a lot of iron. Or we can use a dislocator in order to teleport. Or make steel like normal humans. But I think this is going to be much more fun because we get to play with a lot of different mods. Any objections? Good. And that random footage that you just saw was not intimidation. I love democracy. But before we start, we need to gather some resources. I think we have enough LP? Yeah, great. So we can just activate you and wait for our resources to arrive from heaven. Over here I set up a temporary matter condenser in order to make singularities, and we already have one, which is great. But correct me if I'm wrong, I used to remember that transfer nodes, when you use them as cobblestone generators, in 1.7 you could use stack upgrades in order to speed them up, but here it does not make any difference. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. This is the part where I always mess it up. We have an ender dust and we have a singularity. Will you work? For some reason I used the wrong ender dust. Oh, this was correct, okay. A quantum ring is a multi-block structure which you make it using 8 quantum ring blocks, and you need to provide it with some channels so that it will transfer those channels between dimensions or over long distances, and it will do it wirelessly. We're also going to need a quantum chamber, and we're going to put one of our quantum entangled singularities inside. But we also need to provide this guy with channels, because if I just make a cable here, it will only have 8 channels on the other side. So I brought some P2P tunnels, and I think we will use 2 of them. 64 channels. That should be okay. The part which we just made is the transmitter, and now we need a receiver. So I made the same multi-block structure here, and we're going to put our quantum entangled singularity inside. And this guy requires power as well. So we are going to add a cable here, and now you should be active. Are you? Oh yeah, it is. Perfect. If I put a terminal here, we should be able to access our Applied Energistic system. Yes, perfect. Spooky action at a distance. Einstein will be so proud. If we want to get into IC2, we cannot just jump into advanced solar panels and provide ourselves with unlimited EU, because in this mod there is a part which is called the sonarium part, and you get it only through a molecular transformer from glowstone, and you need 1 million EU to convert it. So we need to first start with a generator from IC2, and I was thinking of a geothermal generator. We have plenty of RF, we can convert it into lava using lava fabricators, and we can power the geothermal generators. Each one of these I think gives you 20 EU, so 10 of them should be fine. I might be wrong with the numbers, but 10 geothermal generators should be more than enough. I was correct about the numbers. Each one of them makes 20 EU per tick, so we are generating 200 EU per tick. This is a very temporary setup until we get the solar panels, so this is why I don't really care about the wiring right now. But I am actually using glass fiber cables. This is the best cable available in IC2, but we could make it using our thermal expansion and Ender.io machines. So I was like, yeah, why not? Let's make them anyway. The thing about IC2 machines is that they're garbage without the overclocker upgrades. So we need to make them really fast. And for that we're going to need IC2 coolant, so I made some canning machines. This is 200 EU per tick, but these guys will not explode without the transformer upgrade, because this is a tier 1 generator and it sends energy through the cable with 20 EU packages or something, so these guys will not explode right now. Well, I did start making overclocker upgrades and I'm using it for the compressor right now, which requires also an import bus, which I forgot. So we put it here and we add some acceleration cards. Anyway, the way that you make IC2 coolant is easy. You just need to infuse water with lapis, you will get the IC2 coolant, and then I pump it into another canning machine which will fill in the cells. And then we just make the overclocker upgrades. I needed it for the compressor because we are going to need a lot of alloys and carbons in order to make the solar panel as well as the molecular transformer. So let me get those. I'll be right back. Alright guys, it's been a while later, actually quite a while later, but we are now producing sonarium at a decent rate. It's 9 million EU, so believe me, the speed that you see in front of you is actually quite decent. I'm happy with it. We have 2 ultimate hybrid solar panels and each one of them will give us 512 EU per tick, but we are still far away to make the quantum solar panel. I know it's just 1 block, but the recipe for it is quite expensive. Look. So this is the quantum one and this is the recipe. Look how much garbage it requires. We need to wait a very long time, mainly for this guy, because we need like 100 of these and you can see the speed. I just made a rough calculation and it seems with 3 hours of AFKing we will have enough sonarium in order to make a quantum solar panel. We will reach our goal, but we will only have 1 quantum solar panel because my iridium supply will run out. Our plastic production is garbage because we only have 1 plastic making machine over there and I have a few rubber trees over there, and that's not going to be enough in order to make all the circuits that we're going to need. So I was thinking that I use these 3 hours productively and start replicating items using a replicator. But first we need to get reinforced stone. I know in Enigmatica you have a recipe for this, but in this one you don't, so we need to go the old way. As an FYI note, in this pack machines will explode if they do not have a transformer upgrade, because I just lost a thermal centrifuge to high voltage. Oh damn. So how do I connect it to the power? Okay, so we put everything inside and then we connect the cables. Are you fine? Good. I just made a macerator and then I realized there is another recipe for a rotary macerator from Advanced Machines. It also gives you some other options, but I don't know, are you better? Are you worse? It's cheap. We can try it. Okay, so it's not a better version, it's just like the thermal centrifuge. So the more it runs, the faster it works, because it does not accept any upgrades for some reason. So a normal macerator would have been better, I think. Anyway, we can start making reinforced stone, and the way that you make it is relatively easy. You just infuse water with CF powder and you will get construction foam. You put it inside the CF sprayer and you need some scaffolding. And we just spray the scaffolding and wait for it to dry. Could take some time. And when it dries up, we will have 1 reinforced stone. I need to wait for the rest. We need to start making UU matter, and I already made a mass fabricator, and in order to make it work much more efficiently, we're going to need to provide it with scrap. So we put 2 recyclers here, and then we need to provide the recyclers with something that they can convert into scrap, and I think cobblestone would be a good solution. I'm not sure if this setup is going to be enough or not, but we're going to have 2 Ignix extruders providing cobblestone to the recycler, and we have 2 recyclers providing scrap to the matter fabricator. All of them are not working. Okay, you need lava. So start working, and I think one of them also does not have an ejector upgrade. It's that one, okay. So south side, and we put it in U. If we provide you with power, everything should be fine. Nothing explodes. Everything is fine. Nothing blew up. Okay, good. You are going to need an overclocker upgrade, and you as well. I don't have that much, so for now this will do. How much did we make? Nothing. Okay, I thought using 2 igneous extruders per recycler is not going to be enough, but the thing is, this guy is full of scrap right now, so it's working at almost maximum efficiency. We need to increase the power anyway, and this guy is filling up. This guy will fill up after this guy is full, and these 2 guys are not working at all. So maybe we can improve the setup and add a few more matter fabricators? I don't know. My main problem is that I don't have rubber, and you know, the supply is very slow, which is holding me back from making more solar panels and generate much more EU and finish this thing as soon as possible is the fact that I need a lot of advanced circuits. Advanced circuits are not very complicated to build, but they require a lot of rubber. And I don't have that because it's very slow, and I was not thinking of this. So we are going to start replicating rubber. It does not make sense to start replicating raw material because, for instance, if you want to make all the raw material you're going to need in order to make an advanced circuit, you're actually going to spend much more UU matter than just making the circuit itself. So for instance, the circuit will cost 120 millibuckets of UU matter, and if you want to make each individual item, you're going to spend like 250. So it does not make sense to just duplicate rubber, but I just need the rubber for now. I don't need the copper, I don't need the redstone, I don't need the glowstone. I have plenty of those. So we're going to start duping you. And you're scanning. Oh, do you need the memory thingy? Where do I put this? Here? Here? Here. There are times that apparently I'm very wrong. It takes 100 millibuckets of UU matter to make 1 rubber, and it takes 600 millibuckets to make an electronic circuit. So yeah, it does not make sense to make rubber at all. When you want to play with UU matter, it does not make sense to go cheap. You have to be fully dedicated, you have to go all the way in, and you have to go slightly crazy. Having 1 matter fabricator and feeding it a little bit of scrap was not working for me, especially with the prices that we have to pay for replicating stuff. So we have 24 igneous extruders which are making cobblestone at a really fast rate, as you can see, and then we have 20 recyclers which are making scrap at a really fast rate. We're actually overproducing, so this is why this guy is not working. And then we're exporting all the scrap into a crafter from RF Tools, which is making us scrap boxes. And then we have 4 matter fabricators, and we are feeding them with scrap boxes, so they work at maximum efficiency during the day, obviously. And that's how fast we are gaining UU matter. It's not the best because I still can improve the solar panels that we have on top. I do have 1 quantum solar panel, the rest are just ultimate hybrid version, because the quantum core that you need is the most expensive part. So these guys for me are cheap. Converting it into this is just a pain, and I need to sleep. To be honest with you guys, halfway through of making this setup, I thought that this system is not going to be an option in order to duplicate iron, because we're going to need 100 millibuckets of UU matter just to make 1 rubber. Iridium is 120, iridium plate is like 520, and you know, it gets exponentially higher. And then I saw iron, which is 746, but that's not millibuckets, that's microbuckets. It's 25% less than a millibucket. So with this we can make almost 7,000 iron ingots, and it's very fast. So I'm happy. In our list we are almost done with everything except the steel factory itself and teleportation. So we might as well start making Dew of the Void and make the steel factory next episode. And also the iron mine. And I can remove this.